Hey Spectrum, welcome back to Noise News.
We've got a lot of news today, so let's get right into it.
Bye.
We hope you all had a great early release yesterday.
It's so great to get off of school early.
You know what else is great, Yusa?
What?
Broadcast.
That's right, broadcast is pretty great, and we're accepting applications for next year's crew. If you have an interest in creating videos, writing, and speaking, consider joining Noise News.
There's no experience necessary. All current 8th graders through juniors are encouraged to apply. You can pick up an application on Miss Crest's door, room 103, or in the office at the middle school.
Speaking of signing up for Noise News, you should also make sure to sign up for next year's classes too.
That's right. Registration for the 2021 school year classes is now open and is due March 17th. Make sure you complete the registration planning worksheet and input your courses requests in Campus Portal.
Make sure to check if your class requires an application. Links to the applications are located on the Spectrum class registration page.
While registering for classes, you should also think about applying for Link Crew.
Link Crew is recruiting leaders for the 20 to 21 school year. Prospective leaders will be juniors and seniors next year. Link members will help to welcome the class of 2024 to Spectrum High School. Applications are available in the College and Career Center in Mr. Ott's or Ms. Hammernick's classroom.
Being a Link leader looks great on a resume, plus it's super fun.
You know what else is fun? Donating pop tabs.
Don't forget to donate your pop tabs to your advisory class. The winning class will get a donut party, so don't forget to bring them in.
I think it's about time we go over to sports, so let's throw it over to Arik.
Hey Spectrum, it's a sports guy, Arik here. Again, there are 0 sports this week. Back to you.
Here we go! No! Okay, sono patarito.
パンパンベジジパンパンボーチャッチャチャッチャ
Potono tunita no kanara petani tiniti.
ジレピンゲゲルググゲーチャッチャチャッチャチャッチャ
Somatadoro potonori karapato.
ゲールゲイルゲゲルググゲーハッポーハポ
Omotai toro ko sono pata petani tiniti.
ーヒビデバゲゲルググゲーデバジミジミ
Toro poco na peporo. Omarato toro so rebaro.
ジミジミケケ
Feels good to be a gangster, a real.
Toro poco na peporo. Omarato toro so rebaro.
Now let's go over to a story on Reddit with Bryce and Andrew. Take it away.
Red Out is a classic Spectrum event in which everyone dresses in red and attends a basketball game to fight against and raise awareness of heart disorders.
Good game, lots of energy, and yeah, it was fun playing in it. Seeing all the red in the crowd was definitely cool to see, as you know, it's Red Out and you guys were raising awareness for heart disease and some other stuff like that.
The whole point of the event is to spread awareness and to fight against heart disorders. Let's find out what some of these heart disorders are.
So a heart attack is going to be like signals in your body. It's actually going to stop your heart. So it could be electrical, it could be a blockage, something like that. That actually stops your heart from pumping. There's your coronary artery disease, which affects the arteries themselves. And so if it breaks down the walls or anything, then if your arteries can't like actually push the blood and help pump it or hold it, that's going to be bad. And then congestive heart failure is like chronic, like not pumping enough. So your heart's not working as much as it should be. Maybe there's a blockage, something like that.
According to Medical News Today, Heart diseases such as coronary heart disease is a leading cause of death in America and takes up 23% of all deaths in the U.S. With all this being said, you can make a difference by participating again next year. Let's hear what you guys thought of this year's Red Out event.
Yeah, the Red Out event was a lot of fun. Everyone was wearing red. It was a lot of energy. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I think the school deciding to raise money for heart disease is very cool. It's cool that we can take the whole school and raise all that money too.
This is Bryce and Andrew signing off.
Great story, guys. I love Red Out.
You know what I love, Yusa? Dogs. Let's go to a story on Spectrum's new visiting therapy dog.
Spectrum has recently permitted therapy dogs into both the middle school and high school buildings in hopes of helping students lower their stress and anxiety levels.
My name is Shelby, and this is Mabel. Mabel is an 8-year-old golden doodle. She's a therapy dog.
Mabel is Spectrum's first featured therapy dog. The process for Mabel to become a therapy dog took a lot of work for her and Shelby.
Mabel went through about 2 years of training. She had to start with her regular obedience type classes, sit, stay, all that. And then she had to get her canine good citizen, meaning she was good with other dogs, all sorts of people, and pass that test. And then she had to pass her therapy dog test. So it was about 2 years.
As an owner, training takes a lot of time, patience, and showing compassion for your dog. Here's a helpful tip for those who are interested in therapy dog training.
Say spend as much time as you can with your dog. Work on training all the time, even if it's just a few minutes a day. Just stop, and anything can be an opportune time to have a lesson or do whatever you need to do to keep them going.
Not only is Mabel a therapy dog, but she is also a loyal companion and friend.
The best thing about Mabel is she's super easy to work with and she's very sweet. But I love that I get to miss all the students and interact with all sorts of people, so I really enjoy it.
We are happy to welcome Mabel as Spectrum's therapy dog. This has been Yusin Arik, Noise News, signing off.
Great job, team. What a fun story. Now we're going to go on to a more serious story.
Recently, there was a large-scale fire in the nearby town of Becker.
Let's go to a story on that with Nick, Chris, and Anna.
A few weeks ago, a fire broke out in Becker at the Northern Metals recycling plant. The fire could be seen in cities close by like Big Lake, Monticello, Zimmerman, and even some parts of Elk River. The fire had lasted around a week and was so serious that fire departments from as far as St. Paul had come to try to help and contain the fire. The strange thing is that nobody knows how the fire started and is still a mystery waiting to be solved. It was even serious enough that the National Guard came out as well. With this being said, we have went to people like Miss Mullet and other students in order to get more detailed information and opinions about the fire.
So what happens with fire is it releases particles into the air. It can be aerosols or fine particles, and depending on what actually is burning in the fire, it can release different chemicals as well. So it kind of depends on what was there, what was actually released, but those particles can then be released into the air and affect people and animals.
Above Monticello and part of Elk River, there's this like huge, like ominous looking cloud that was just all from the smoke from the fire. And as I got closer, you could see a little bit of the flame, but not a ton of it. And it was like huge, like really, really big. I don't even know what to compare it to. It was like this huge cloud of black smoke.
So those particles that are released, they are really fine, and so they can get into like your eyes and into your respiratory system when you breathe in and out. And so that can affect people who already have asthma, or can cause respiratory illnesses like bronchitis and stuff too if it's bad enough.
The night before this fire began, it was snowing, so I had to go out and plow. I was on my way home around 6 in the morning, and I could just smell the smoke going across the road. I was over in Monticello, and it was smelled quite a bit. The next day, I decided to go figure out and see what the fire was all about. I got over there, and the smoke was billowing out of the cars. It was quite the scene. Gladly, nobody was hurt.
The fire was luckily put out around a week ago due to the ability to contain it, but the site is currently off limits to the public at the moment. Although this event led to some very neat images, this type of occurrence was very rare and hopefully will never happen again. This has been Nick, Anna, and Chris for Noise News, signing off.
Nice job on that story, team.
Now let's go over to Andrew DeBoer-Rium with another quick bio fact.
What up guys, this is DeBoer, back at it with another quick bio fact. This plant here is Hedera helix. In Europe it is frequently planted to cover walls, and the government recommends growing it on buildings for its ability to cool the interior in summer and provide insulation in the winter. It also protects the covered building from soil moisture, temperature fluctuations, and direct exposure to heavy weather. Ivy can climb into the canopy of young or small trees in such density that the trees fall over. Anyways, this has been DeBoring with a quick bio fact. Let's get back into the news.
Great job, Andrew.
Well, that's all the news we have for you today, Spectrum.
This has been Yusa
And Tim.
keeping you
In on the noise.